is not decorated silver. It doesn't have gems in it or anything like that. But it is not a normal creature.
No.
It is a weird, stylized creature that is difficult for you to really identify. Is it art? You know? And he says, this is the key to what I'm trying to accomplish. I have cleared all of my promissory notes. I have paid them all off. And so I have very little capital at this time. This is all sunk into Petrain's success. And when we get it, and the Earl is going to be very happy with us. And I think that we can weather the current crisis. But there are some risks. There are people who will think that I paid off the promissory notes in awareness that the value of everything is about to jump up. So that means they're not going to be very happy with me. There are organized people in and around these communities who take this stuff very seriously. So mind your safety.
Of course.
Your association with me is now becoming better known.
Of course. And you will be going where, Master?
I'm going to Henway.
Of course, yes.
I have to go and negotiate with the Earl there.
So I will not be coming with you then?
Absolutely not. It is tremendously dangerous. I may not come back. Or I may be delayed in some unknown fashion. And at this point, he stops a little bit and looks at you and says, farewell.
Farewell. You will come back, Master. Yeah, I know it's important.
That was a little less formal or a little more. He almost said something else. Okay,
He did.
Right. Yeah. So let's see here. I think that's. Is there any role that you want to deal with in that whatsoever?
I might. Yes, I might try reflect to sort of gain a better picture. Who are the people, for example? Like, are they known to me? Or should I worry about someone specifically?
Probably. I'll have to come up with the details. But in fact, let's go ahead and toss in a name. You need to be looking out for a fellow named Rodri, Arhodri. Right. He has organized a lot of the currency exchange throughout the whole region in any number of different exchanges. He holds a lot of the credit, informal credit, but credit nonetheless, with bandits. And he really is the person to talk to if you really want to do business in this area outside of the keep. But if things don't go to his advantage, he will solve his problem permanently.
I understand.
Now, I have no formal problem with him. I have caused him no problem unless he suspects me of swindling him about these notes, which I did not at the time, but he might not see it that way.
Of course, I understand.
So that...
Will you be taking the Ivinian or Ivinian friends with you?
Oh, no.
Of course.
No, they are very determined to stay here at the keep. I have my own set of... I have fighting men that I have hired who will take care of me. Your job, listen to the constable, learn what you can, and coordinate with Petrain when he comes back.
Yes.
He's in good hands. A tough fellow from the village has been... I made sure that he had someone very reliable.
Oh, who's that?
His name is Durnil.
I know, yes,
right.
Yes, of course.
And also,
Durnil is a good lad, good man.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way. He's the right man for this job.
That's what
Also,
I
he has some personal problems that Petrain's alchemical skills will be very, very helpful for solving. So therefore, I think now that he understands the payment he will be receiving, that he's going to be he's going to be very careful about Petrain's health and well-being.
Oops. Well, it's good to have a learned man like Petrain among us. Can he really help this society, this community?
Well, he's perhaps a little too intellectual sometimes. We have had to adjust our business plans based on his astrological readings. I am still not certain that they have really done much.
Ah, I see. Well, perhaps the stars can tell us something.
Yeah, Duffy is kind of like, my purse tells us something. These notes tell us something. I don't know about the stars.
Duffy is a wise man in his own way.
Okay, so did you want to turn this into a role of any kind?
I don't believe so. I think he's very frank. There's nothing like I want to get out of him. Otherwise,
right.
Maybe is there somewhere in the keep that is safe to keep this sort of the statuette, or should I keep it on me? Does he have a hard, like a strong box or something?
Well, that yes, but he has to take that stuff with him. I think that and the problem with a strong box is that somebody can pick up the box and walk off with it.
But I know that the constable knows that Daffy has the sort of statue, so
you
I could coordinate with the constable.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Because I might have seen you showcase this fine piece of silver to the constable when I entered the room earlier or yesterday.
He hadn't noticed that. He kind of gives you a second look. Really? Oh, that statuette. Wait.
And before we go, what's this? What is this statuette actually? Like, what's the purpose of it?
Petrain will tell you everything. I have to go. Right now, the less you know, the better.
Ah, I see. Well, I will look forward to what the learned man Petrain will tell me about this.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this day, unless more is called for.
It's late in the evening, right? There's nothing like you.
No.
It's not another shift or what do you call it? A watch. I mean.
Yes, but I'm giving you the opportunity to act upon that if you want.
I don't believe there's something.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Next day. Well, fortunately, Petrain has received such help that he doesn't have to make a survival check by himself. Not his best circumstance. I was a little worried about him getting lost out there, but persuading a caravan to help is a really good way to
But actually, was it the same? Was it the 8th that this Earthus was going to?
Yes, and it is. We have there is that.
Perhaps that is some kind of spectacle, or
it is a spectacle because
Agric
Agric is the formal church of Retham. And so therefore it is a town event.
Okay.
And so therefore it is perfectly all right for anybody to come and watch. It's quite informal in lots of ways. It's just a low mass. It's a mass gathering where people. It will probably be at sundown. They will probably set up some torches on poles. This is not the big city, so they don't have dancers and fireworks and things like that.
And who knows? Perhaps there would be a meal in it. With the sacrificial.
Well, I think that the idea that if you go, you'll get a mug of ale is part of the draw. Part of the so everybody will
feel very religious.
And
buy the check.
And then also, I think that you would be. Let me think. What else?
Because surely I can honor other gods and their traditions, even though
the way it kind of works, I think, is that anybody is sort of welcome to come to these. Yeah. There is another basic process in the Church of Agrik by which people go and give donations more formally, but that's carried out routinely. Mm. So if you want to go and give a donation, you just go. Mm. And then by the end of the month, they're kind of like, well, who didn't come? Yeah. But for this, it's a little less organized. Mm. Nobody's counting to see who came and who didn't.
A few times that I come into some largesse that was not okay. That we could spend. Of course, I always spend it by turning it over to people who could protect me or could be
right. Right. I think that makes sense. Yes. Yeah. You don't have a hoard anywhere.
No.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a check. Then. I do think it's a little sad that dancing is not an automatic skill. I think I'm amused to think that if you just want to get into some big group dance thing, we're just going to call it jumping.
Yeah. Or ritual.
Exactly.
Yeah, ritual.
Yeah. Well, ritual certainly, yeah. Although this would be a vocal ritual, the way they have it written.
Ritual jumping.
Yes. Yeah. Aerobics.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that we will. I think it would be sort of fun. I mean, you have this guy with his kind of overly armored-looking little suit with an uncomfortable-looking cloak, and he's wearing a. Oops.
It just looks like an armor. It's more like
it's more panels or something.
Theater armor.
Yeah, exactly. And he in a helmet that's reasonably impressive looking, if not totally practical. And he will. Unfortunately, he has to do it himself, right? Mm-hmm. So he and somebody who's considered a tough guy in the village will enact, a combat. And at one point, the guy, defeated, falls to his knees, and the Orthos raises his sword high, and
more blood.
Yeah, and everybody's screaming, "Kill him!" and stuff like that. And he brings down the sword, and the guy falls over. Yeah. I'm dead, sort of thing. Yeah, and it's not the best. I mean, you whip up the crowd to a frenzy of bloodlust, and then it's just a pageant death.
Yeah. But I am excited.
They got beer.
Yeah,
they got beer. They're like, well, I guess that's what we get. I guess, did we really want that guy to die? Now that I think about it, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, but it wasn't the orgiastic, howl of faith that they might want. But anyway, so that takes up the evening. And how about, would you like to try a ritual or two, or would you like to try jumping with everybody jumping around, dancing?
Of course, I can folk dance with jumping.
Yes, I think that's perfectly.
Yeah. And actually, I make it. It's a marginal success.
Well, you do just fine with the ritual jumping about and dancing.
Yes, I think I'm excited and I'm into it. And at first, of course, I am respectful and a bit fearful about this people. But then I get into it, and I'm like, and I find myself like, kill him, and afterwards I'm not going to recognize myself.
Yeah, good enough. Ritual, community ritual thing.
Yeah, I'm feeling like you're pulling a sword or something, and that's totally ridiculous.
Excellent. So now we have.
Is that check as well?
That check for a later.
Yeah.
a later
Right.
development. Okay, so for the next day, Philip, what sort of things will concern you for the next day? Basically, remember, this is player directed at this point, so I do have things that will crop up and encounters and things that we need to check, but and I need to see how it's going with Petrain and things like that. So what does he have to roll anything or worry about anything particularly out there? It's an uneventful day. Four checks and no
friend Petrain.
out there. So he actually has done pretty well with his wilderness check, and then he has to make his herbcraft. To see just how he did. Herbology. Critical. Yeah. So that means, very luckily, he found it.
Yeah.
First day, no encounters.
Yeah.
Now that was a damn good day for that dude after a very stressful trip out here.
Swing some roundabouts.
Yeah. Okay.
Go back again.
Right. Highway. We're seeing how David is doing on his way out.
Yeah.
And according to that, the next day, you are the countryside is in an uproar.
Okay.
A monster was seen. The local chief guy, or the sort of head.
Yeah.
He's not even a chief.
No.
You know, that's the most respected man in
local
this,
strongman.
is make sure everything's okay for the constable, around here.
Okay.
Well, he is now leading a bunch of guys around. There's some frightened farmers who are fleeing because they saw a monster, and one would think that the local lord would simply go and slap them around a few times and tell them to get back to work. Except that he saw the monster too. I just rolled. The monster failed its stealth check. So it's all bad.
Okay.
The monster does not have time to make its prescience check.
No.
But it knows what it's doing though, because it got a critical success on that the previous day. So it has its goal very clearly. Anybody they don't know in the area is getting roughed up for no good reason at all. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm already roughed up, so maybe I won't choose just being roughed up this time, if possible. Do I notice them? Should I do an awareness roll? See if I hear them coming in.
I just rolled your encounters.
Okay.
So,
but that means.
But that
Does
just
that
means
mean that they're on me, or
no.
is it just
It
that
means
they're in
who would you be aware of?
Yeah,
is what
exactly,
I'm checking right now.
Would you,
So-
as an acolyte, get some extra respect to
As a,
as an acolyte? Get
Not
some
of
extra
Morgath.
no, that's
No.
like a
Oh.
semi.
Agric, yes.
Yes.
Morgrak, not so much.
Yeah.
Not even here in Rethem.
I think no.
No, you aren't proscribed. The worship of Morgath is actually permitted in Rethem. It's not like anyone else likes
No,
it very
exactly.
much.
Yeah, like
So it's not well loved among everyone else. So feared, for sure.
yeah. That's
Fortunately, it forced me off the rural encounter table onto the wilderness encounter table, which by my thinking means that you went off-road
okay.
for reasons.
Yeah.
And then there, unfortunately, you ran right into a local patrol. which factors
favorite.
directly from what I just
Yeah.
also rolled for the monsters. So therefore, but you therefore now have some chance to evade them
Yeah.
and